In the late 10th and early 11th centuries, England was constantly under invasion by Viking forces, primarily from Denmark. These relentless attacks created a period of great instability and turmoil for the English kingdom. King Ethelred the Unready, Edmund's father, ascended to the throne in 978 AD. His reign was marked by a series of disastrous decisions and failed military campaigns against the Viking invaders. To fend off the Viking threat, Ethelred resorted to paying large sums of money, known as Dangeld, to the Danish raiders. However, these payments only provided temporary relief and often encouraged more raids. The kingdom's resources were drained and the people were demoralized. In a desperate attempt to curb the Viking threat, Ethelred ordered the St. Brice's Day massacre in 1002, issuing a charter of killing all Danes in the kingdom. This brutal act only served to provoke further invasions from Denmark. By 1013, King Svend Forkbeard of Denmark launched a full-scale invasion on England and seized the throne by the end of the year. Ethelred was forced to flee to Normandy. Sweyn briefly ruled England, but his sudden death in 1014 allowed Ethelred to return to the throne. King Ethelred launched a surprise attack and defeated the Vikings, forcing Forkbeard's son Canute to flee England. Amidst this turmoil, Edmund, Ethelred's son, emerged as a beacon of hope. Born around 990, Edmund grew up witnessing the relentless Viking threat and his father's struggles to defend the kingdom. Determined to change the course of England's fate, Edmund honed his skills as a warrior, earning the nickname Ironside for his strength and resilience. Edmund Ironside was the third of the 6 sons of Ethelred the Unready and his first wife Aelfgifu of York, who was probably the daughter of Earl Thord of Northumbria. His mother Aelfgifu died around 1000, after which his father remarried to Emma of Normandy, with whom he had 2 more sons, Uhtred England King Edward the Confessor and Alfred. When Svend died in 1014, the 5 boroughs accepted his son Canute as king. However, Ethelred returned to England and launched a surprise attack which defeated the Vikings and forced Canute to flee England. But Ethelred returned with vengeance in mind, attacking all those who had supported to Viking. He ravaged the Danelaw and punished all those who took Svend and Canute's side. This includes Sigefirth and Morcar brothers, chief of 7 burgs. This 7 burgs power base was extensive as it occupied the prime locations of the Danelaw. When the brothers arrived at an assembly in Oxford, seeking a pardon, they were brutally murdered by Edric Streona on the orders of King Ethelred. Additionally, the king seized all their lands and imprisoned Sigefirth's widow at Malmesbury Abbey. At this point, Edmund seized and married her in defiance of his father, probably to consolidate his power base in the East Midlands, and became the ruler of the Danelaw. With Ethelred and Edmund Ironside embroiled in a power struggle, Canute seized the perfect opportunity to launch his invasion on England. In late 1015, Edmund raised an army, possibly assisted by his wife's and mother's links with the Midlands and the North. Unfortunately, the Mercians under the leadership of Edric Streona as well as the West Saxons had already submitted to Canute's invasion. Edmund then raised a new army with the support of Earl Uhtred of Northumbria, who ravaged Edric Streona's Mercian territories, but when Canute occupied Northumbria, Uhtred submitted to him, and he was soon killed by Canute. Significantly amidst the fighting, King Ethelred died. The citizens and councillors in London chose Edmund as king, while the rest of the council elected Canute. As Canute gained ground, Edmund showed his bravery and leadership by traveling to London and breaking the siege imposed by the Viking troops. All rivalries would come to face at the Battle of Ascendun on October 18, 1016, where Edmund's Saxon forces faced Canute's Viking army in a battle that would determine the fate of England. In the heat of battle, Edmund fought valiantly, but the English forces were ultimately doomed due to treachery. Edric Streona, a key figure, betrayed them. Known for his fickle loyalty, Streona had switched allegiances. He had previously defected to Cnut, but then returned to support the English. On the battlefield, Streona's true, treacherous nature emerged again. Just when the English forces needed him most, he abandoned them, allowing Canute's men to breach the English defenses. This act of deceit allowed Canute's Viking warriors to claim a decisive victory. Edmund's dreams were shattered, not by the might of his enemy but by the treachery within his own ranks. Following his defeat at Ascendun, Edmund and Canute reached a remarkable agreement. They decided to divide the kingdom, with Edmund ruling Wessex and Canute taking control of the rest of England. This uneasy peace, however, was short-lived. Edmund Ironside's life came to a sudden end in 1016. The circumstances of his death remain shrouded in mystery, with some sources suggesting he was assassinated. With Edmund gone, Canute became the first Viking king of England, marking the beginning of a new era.